Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the zodiac sign Virgo and their appearance, and yes, it does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant. And keep in mind that as far as this description goes, it's a general description for the sign, and you do have to factor in race and ethnicity into this because depending on your race and ethnic background, this may not apply to some people out there. So anyway, first thing I'll look at as far as the appearance goes, Virgo is generally slender in build to medium. It seems like Virgo inclines more toward being lithe and slender. There's some though that are more about average build, but generally more slender from my experience with this sign. And the height tends to be about average. They're generally a middle stature and of medium height. Virgos. The the arms and the legs tend to be a little bit longer in contrast to the rest of the body. The trunk is generally short, and the shoulder is often broad, and the palms can be square, and the hands can be square, I should say. The earth signs generally tend to have a more squarish look to the hands. The palms are very often very square, and also, as far as the hair for Virgo is often brown in color or a brownish color, and the hair tends to be sparse and not very profuse. But the one thing about Virgo, which very noticeable, is that they are very often very meticulous in their appearance and how they dress, and they often don't have a hair out of place. They don't really, Virgos are very rarely disheveled, so you may have a Virgo, it generally has a very neat and clean appearance because they can be very self-conscious about how they appear to others. Now, as far as the head goes for Virgo, well, the head tends to be generally oval or round, and the forehead can be high. The eyes for Virgo may be often deep set. The features can be rather small and minute. The nose can be rather thin but straight, and the lips, the upper lip can be rather thin, and it can make the lower lip more noticeable. Now, as far as complexion for Virgo, well, Virgos tend to have a rather fair and light complexion, and the eyes may be very clear for Virgo. And the thing about Virgo too, as far as what they wear, generally rather conservative. They don't really like to wear anything too flamboyant or anything that's going to stand out, because Virgo generally is a rather inconspicuous sign, and this could apply to their clothing. Now, the thing too about Virgo with the hair, I want to get back to that, is that they often can have a widow's peak. My father had Virgo rising, and he had one. And if you look at talk show host Conan O'Brien, who has Virgo Ascendant, he has that widow's peak. Very blatant, very obvious the way it stands out. But Conan O'Brien is well above average height, and I do believe this is at least largely attributed to the fact he has Uranus conjunct his ascendant. When you have Uranus conjunct the ascendant, you could often be taller than otherwise indicated in your natal chart, and you could even have a little bit of a different look. You might look a little bit different than what your rising sign would generally look like. So I thought that was interesting. And also, the look in Virgo, the manner, they could really appear rather apprehensive, pensive, or doubtful, because Virgo can be rather shy. It's a feminine sign, which suggests introversion. So, another thing too, the mouth for Virgo is generally well formed, and they often have a very like scrupulous, like button up look to them as far as Virgo goes. And the thing about Virgo too, they have an uncanny ability often to look a lot younger than they are. They can have a very youthful countenance and complexion, and they just generally, they don't show their age as much as most other zodiac signs do. So anyway, that is pretty much it for the zodiac sign Virgo in appearance. And stay tuned next time, where I will be talking about the zodiac sign Libra and their appearance. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.